Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, just a question asker. I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheem Osme out of Atlanta, Georgia. But we have our family that's gonna be with us in a few minutes. We have everybody coming in, and I got a question to ask them this morning, and I want to see how they're going to respond to this particular question. Um, might be a little complicated. Might be a little complicated today. And you too. Yes, you. Yeah. No, you. Yeah. You right there. You right there. Yeah. You could call in as well. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. Give us a call this morning, and let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. It's Friday. Today is Friday. We made it through another great week. Hyena Happy, Elephant A Lady, and Porcupine proud to be here with each and every one of you. Eyes running this morning. I just sneezed, so my eyes are running a little bit. So excuse me for that. What's going on this weekend? What kind of plans y'all got for this weekend? Y'all got some things going on? Call in and tell me what y'all got going on this weekend. Tell me what's really going on in your mind. Let me see. Was just talking about this with a friend. Sad truth. Okay, I posted something on Facebook, and I'm getting a lot of responses to it, good, bad, and some I don't necessarily understand what they're saying. But I'm gonna tell you what I wrote. This is a post that I put on Facebook. I say, why is it that sometimes when black people speak to each other, uh, they treat you like you just asked them for some money? Do you have to know each other to say hello? Sometimes when and we get a lot of this. I will read some of the responses, but sometimes, and that's basically saying sometimes when if you see you out and about, you walking around, you shopping or whatever in the mall, wherever you at, convenience store, whatever, and you're black, and you see somebody else that's black, and you walk up to them, and as you're walking by, you say, "Hey, brother, how you doing?" And they give you that look. Brother, I didn't ask you for no money. I just said hello, how you doing? But we'll give each other that mean mug look. We'll give each other that mean mug look like, Negro, you don't know it. And they don't say Negro. I'm being kind. I'm being kind. They say, Negro, you don't know me. Speaking to me for. Speaking to me for what you want. Like they expecting you to ask them for something like, or you trying to take something from them or something like this. And my question is, why is that? Why can't you simply say, "Oh, brother, I'm doing fine. How you doing? Hope you have a great day," and keep it pushing? It don't have to be a long conversation. You ain't got to sit there and tell your life story. I mean, you don't have to sit there and tell this person your life story or nothing like that. That's not what they're asking you for. They simply greeting you. Hello, brother. How you doing today? Hey, sis, how you doing today? Hope everything is well with you. But no, what happened is they got to get that mean mug look. That mean mug look. I don't get it. I don't get it. Let me see. Let me see. I see my sister. Hold on for a minute. Trying to get my sister called in here. Okay, cool. Trying to get my sister to call in here and say good morning. Say good morning to us. But yeah, that's what it is, man. And the phone number is. I hate that doing that. I'm sorry about that. But 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. And I just want to know, why is it that we do that? Why can't we just, this individual, this person just took the time to speak, to say hello, to say good morning. They don't want nothing. They're not expecting anything. Why I got to be so suspicious of this person simply because they spoke? Why you got to be so suspicious? Why you got to look at the person like, Negro, you don't, like I said earlier, Negro, you don't know me. What are you speaking to me for? What you want? What you trying to get? What you mean it's a good day? Why is it so good? Are we really that sad? Are we really that sad in our lives that we can't take the time to just acknowledge somebody that spoke to us and think that maybe they're having a good day? Maybe they're having a good day, and so in order, a part of sharing the good day that they're having is by speaking to you, hoping that you had a good day too. hoping that you're having a good day too. Now, maybe you're not. Maybe you're not. Because with your response, I'm sure that you're not. Okay, we got a call. Let me see what the call is. We got a call on here. Oh, there go my sis. Toya with a T. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, good morning. How are you?
I am doing well. Toya, I'm asking a question, and I know you can help me with this. I know you can help me with this question. Toya, why is it
Maybe.
sometimes, especially down here in the South, and it's a little different up north because everybody got getting it's a certain thing up north, but especially now, let's deal with down here in the South. Why is it, Toya, if you out and about, you hanging out, you doing doing what shopping or whatever you're doing, why is it that when you speak to certain black people, and you being black too, but you speak to certain black people, they give you that look. What are you speaking to me for? What are you speaking to me for? You get that mean mug
Ah,
look. Why is it and
can't.
almost like you ask them for borrow some money, or you ask them for some, you simply say, how you doing today, brother? Hey, brother, how you doing? Hey, sis, how you doing? Good morning, how you doing? Why is it they give you that mean mug look? What is that all about?
Yeah, demons,
Mm,
devils, what
mm,
that is.
mm-hmm.
What? You're speaking? Oh, here we go. That shows something remotely close to the unity. See, sometimes we wake up irritated,
Yeah, yeah.
but even when we wake up irritated, that's still a demonic spirit,
Mm-hmm.
not of
Mm-hmm.
my God. So oftentimes we allow life when we try to control stuff and not include him, when we act like we did it ourselves. Oh, the other person did it.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't a spirit of principality. Now you don't even indulge and endure and comprehend that that really actually goes on. And you don't know what's going on. Now all of a sudden you're consumed by all of these ill will spirits. And at the thought of someone with some decency,
Come
at
on.
the thought of a God walker,
Mm-hmm.
oh, just the spirit of you is going to irritate them. And why are you talking to me? That's the demon inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the spirit of the devil inside of them. That's the possession inside of them. Because normal people, healthy, happy people, are not supposed to respond like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, it's time to take a reflection. Because if you respond like that at the mentioning of a good morning or
Mm-hmm.
a hello,
Yes.
you are possessed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're possessed, right? And I feel like that even I'm checking myself right now, right? Because I'm allowing situations in this workplace to irritate me because I just don't understand what's wrong with people in 2023. I mean,
Yes.
I'm flabbergasted,
Mm-hmm. Come on. Come
okay?
on. Mm-hmm.
But I cannot that allow it to irritate my spirit to respond a certain way. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Towards them because I know it's a possession and you don't know no better.
Come on. Come on.
But I'm here to teach you.
Mm-hmm.
The very movement of me. You understand what I'm saying? Irritates you. So I don't expect the high. I know why you don't want me talking to you because just the spirit of who I am and what you know you can't get away with because who is in me irritates you.
Yes. Come on.
And I know that.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Wow.
know that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of been enlightened to why people respond like that. And I personally feel like I'm rolling with what the Lord told me. That's a possession. And that they know not what they do. You have to work with them. That's why you got to always try to make sure you throw me in the mix and let my
Mm-hmm.
spirit take over them because
Exactly.
that is not of me.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Badger, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Badger, I'm asking a question, and I asked the question for black people, and I'm opening it up now. Why is it, Badger, when you speak to some people, because you can't say because you're not black, so you can't say from that angle. So I'm asking the question in this way: why is it that when you speak to some people, they give you that mean mug, like they give you that little nasty look, like what you speaking to me for? Why are you speaking to me? Almost like you asked them for some money, like you asked them to borrow some money or something. Why is it that a person just can't say, "Well, I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good, sister. How you doing today?" Instead of why do they have to give you that mean mug look and act as though you don't disrespected them? Why is that?
Hmm. Sounds like somebody's having a bad day, or they've been hurt by somebody. Um,
What I mean, and that could be the case, but does that mean that you have to carry that on? Does that mean you have to carry that and try to hurt somebody else or be mean, rude, or disrespectful to somebody else because somebody hurt you?
No. It's always a good idea, even if you're having a bad day or a rough day, take deep breaths and do your best not to upset people.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a lost start sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're so used to the way people behave that it's normalized. An overly positive person will oftentimes be viewed as someone that's going to trick somebody or just up to something. There's a lot of stereotype with an overly positive person.
Mm-hmm. Why?
And I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like there's one person that's called in and stuff. I'm not going to say any names or anything. That's gone through rough times and specifically told me that I'm too positive
Wow.
and didn't want no help from me.
Mm.
So it's just one of
Possession.
those things.
What you say, Toya?
Possession. You heard what he just said? You don't want no help from me because I'm too positive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can't tell that is a possession. That doesn't even make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense. When we think like that, we think backwards. We're human. How can you be too positive?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
And how can you not want help from a person?
Well,
It's being
why did
positive because helping people is a positive thing to do.
you
It
want
should.
me to
Yeah.
throw the name out there?
No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
No, please don't.
No.
But just know that is a spirit of possession. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they are possessed by
What?
spirits because you know what I'm saying. That has to be delivered. That doesn't make sense. God sends help. What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want help because you're too positive. No, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And whoever body you on right now, you need to be ye removed. And you need
Exactly.
to pray, you know what I'm saying, to
Oh
God
yeah,
that,
I mean I pray
what is going on with
without
that
them
person.
knowing it.
Because that's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'm gonna
not
tell
normal.
y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all, and I told this story before, man. I was an assistant manager over at AutoZone, and when I went there, they sent me to a couple of stores, and I went to this one store. Because when you become assistant manager, they send you to different stores. You can deal with different people and whatever their protocol is. But that's just what they do. And I went to this one store. I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's Centerville. If y'all familiar with Centerville, that's what the store was. And other side of Grayson. Toy, I'm sure you know what Centerville is. But I was in that
Absolutely.
I was in that store and I was working in that store. And I always went in there, positive, upbeat, happy person, and come in speaking to everybody, singing. I be singing and stuff like that. Y'all know I can't sing, but I sing all the time. And come find out the manager of the store, young lady, she didn't like me. And she always, always shunned me off and stuff like that. And made it very clear that she didn't like me. But I've never done nothing to this lady. And I went to my original store that I was hired for, and they was doing inventory early in the morning. They do inventory about 5 o'clock in the morning. And all the assistant managers and managers had to come in and do the inventory. And my the guy that was actually my manager that was over the store, he pulled me to the front. His name is Tony. Tony said, Ryan, come here, man. And we talked and everything. And he told me, he said, man, she didn't like you. And he said, you know why? He said, I talked to her, found out why she didn't like you. And I said, why? I said, why, man? He said, Raheem, she said, you always too happy. She said, ain't nobody never that happy all the time. All the time. She said, you come in the store, you be talking to everybody and everybody be liking you and stuff like you be so happy and you singing and stuff. She said, you just too happy all the time. And she didn't like the fact that you was always happy. And Tony's as crazy as he could be. He said, listen, he said, she over there, she was there and we could see her. And he said, look, when you leave, who's behind the counter, he said, when you leave from over here, he said, start singing, man. He said, sing loud too. He said, ain't nobody in the store, just us managers and stuff like that. So you ain't disturbing nobody. He said, I want you to sing. And he said, I'm gonna egg on too. I said, no, man, I'm not gonna do that. He said, no, man, just sing, like, just be you. You just sing, and I take it from there. I said, no, I told him I'm not gonna do that, man. But the whole thing of the story, because I knew it was gonna irritate her. But the whole thing of the story was Toya Badger. She didn't like me because she said I was just too happy all the time. Now
Yeah, I believe it.
that's crazy.
She's a demon. That's a demon. That's a demon.
Mm.
That's a demon, Raheem. I mean,
What?
'cause you too happy? What? That is a demon. That person. That's a demonic spirit. They need an exorcism.
Hmm.
You kidding me? Oh no, I can't stand them. They too happy. I remember me and my friend would go places and they be like, oh, yeah, I'm just too happy because we just be walking, talking, and laughing and stuff. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? You too happy, girl? Please, boom, I rebuke you. That we really need to pay attention to signs because that's a huge one, y'all. Just
Hmm.
saying.
Yeah, yeah,
Why
yeah.
are we calling it demon possession?
What would you like to call it?
It just sounds like somebody is following that, just working on finding out how to be a good person.
What's stopping them?
Like,
What's stopping
that can be an overcomplicated question.
them? Hmm. Why
Um,
why do you refuse to call it a demon?
because I know what one. I don't want to go down that one.
Hmm.
Not on air.
Okay, but my thing is, just like you have the right to not call it that, we have the right to call it that. If that's what we say
Oh,
it
I'm
is.
not
Yeah,
judging. I was asking
yeah.
why.
No, no, and that's what I was doing. Why you elect not to call it
So,
that? Because
okay.
if something is of an evil spirit, I say is of a demon. And
So,
that's not a good spirit to say. Listen to this, Badger. To say that somebody, I don't like that person because they're too happy all the time, because they're too happy, because they're in a good mood, because they're singing and they joyful. What is it that will make you not like that person?
see, now sometimes it's just a difference of opinion, difference in
Uh,
what you agree on.
Badger, that's a beautiful thing, man. I love your heart, but nah, I don't agree with that, brother. I don't agree with that. That, like I said,
Mhm.
I don't. Everybody have their own opinion. I'm not here to give you
So,
yours. I'm here to tell you what mine is, and my opinion to what you just said. I don't agree. I think that's something evil because if something is happy, it's like how can the darkness love the light?
so the reason,
How no, how can the darkness love the light?
because without the light, it wouldn't exist.
How can no? My question was how can the darkness love the light? I didn't ask about its existence. I said how can the darkness love the light? It can't because they're two different. They're two opposites. How can the good love the bad? Can't. They're two opposites.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And that's why I say what I said. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I'll answer the question when you come back to me.
Okay. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This this is Pastor Marnie.
Pat.
How are you, bro?
Is Pat? You say Pat?
Pastor Marnie.
Hey, Pastor Monty. Good morning. How you doing, young lady?
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing well. Doing well. Good to have you, sis. Good to have you with us. Thank you for calling in. Definitely appreciate it. You've been listening to
Yeah.
what we said, and what do you if a person say that they don't like this young lady, she didn't like me, says she didn't like me because I'm always too happy. I'm always too joy. I'm singing and ain't nobody that happy all the time. Toya with a T said it's because she has a demon, it's a demonic spirit in her. What do you say it is?
Well, I mean, it can be a lot of things because, I mean, that's almost like a broad statement because number one, it's a spiritual issue for sure. Okay, it's influenced by an actual spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have envious spirits, but the root of some of that stuff is insecurities, within themselves. As soon as they see someone else, they become envious. So if you're happy, and it's always something that they're in torment with within themselves, and it's usually always backed by a spirit. Some
Mm-hmm.
portal been open, and they are influenced by some type of spirit.
Mm-hmm.
An envious spirit or uh, envy and jealousy is two different things, but I believe that it's just is literally influenced by a spirit. Ain't no way. There is no way, because if number one, if you have the spirit of God within you, that thing should not be dominating you in the first place. None of us. So none of us should have a spirit of envy of someone or hatred in your heart for people. It's a self issue. It has nothing to do with the other person. It has everything to do with what's going on within inside of your heart. So some people just been really hurt, and that opened up a portal to their lives. And these spirits, the Bible tells us about giving the enemy a foothold.
Yes.
So we can open up portals to ourselves to allow the enemy to influence us in our thinking. How we think, literally, how we see other people, how we behave towards other people. So it can be, anything rooted inside of a person, but is definitely, I would say, influenced by an unclean spirit.
Yeah, and see that I agree with you 110%, because, like I say, it seemed to me like, you would want somebody around you that's positive. You would want somebody around you that has that upbeat spirit. You would want somebody around you that's happy, because one spirit attracts another spirit. And so if a person is happy and they're joyful, and they having a good time and they really enjoying what they're doing, it would attract. It's like a magnet. It'll attract other people. That's the same way. But if you have somebody it's almost like if you go to, man, let me tell you something. I've gone to church before in a great mood, and I sit beside somebody, and we don't have a lot of conversation, don't talk a lot, but their spirit just ain't right. And it's like, man, I feel like I'm just draining. It's like it's draining the joy out of me. I have to get up and move from that person. Excuse me, I'm going to sit over here. I'm going to sit over here. I can't sit here. God bless you, but I'm going over here on this side of the room. I can't sit beside you.
Well, let me tell you, it's a repetitive behavior. So you can tell if something is a stronghold in someone's mind, meaning they're being controlled by these these spirits or whatever, because their behavior is consistent with multiple people. So, and you can tell the difference if somebody just dealing with something, because we all do, whether we believe in God or not. We all have our days. We all just feel sometimes, and sometimes, sometimes somebody can pick up on somebody else's spirit, and they don't want. I can literally pick up on, majority of the time, I can pick up on somebody who has that evil, just that whole thing that you're talking about, that having. And guess what? Even with that, still, if you have the Spirit of God, He gives you a grace. You literally tap into grace to be able to deal with people like that, and because we're not to respond based off of how they're behaving. We're not supposed to anyway. We're not supposed to, even though we do.
Come on now.
And I just
Come on.
I don't feel like being bothered with that, type of, but sometimes, we do have this grace to be able to deal with that. But you can tell when a person is being controlled or being led completely by, like, they really do have a stronghold in their mind. And I know we hear these things, strongholds, unclean spirits, and it's almost sound cliche. It's like we just saying all this church stuff. But in actuality, it all starts with spirit first. We dealing with that. We dealing with the flesh. We dealing with spirits that influence the flesh. This is the stuff we deal with. So when you see someone's behavior and that type of person is always negative.
Yeah.
They're contentious. They just they isolate themselves. They're gossipers. They're slanderers. They're mockers. This spirit usually follows in a grouping of those type of other spirits.
That's good.
So you can tell if there's somebody who is really influenced by unclean spirits, or opposed to somebody just having,
a bad day.
A bad day.
Yeah, exactly. Stay right there, sister. Stay right there if you can. If you hang out with us as long as you can, I'm definitely gonna come back to you if you make yourself available. But right now, I want to go to Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks, good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning? Oh, we just lost Mr. Hicks. Hopefully he'll call back in. Toussaint, good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
All right. Best I can be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tucson, what do you say about that, man? We're talking about a spirit. I made reference to the young lady when I worked at I was an assistant manager over at the AutoZone, and she didn't like me, man. She didn't like me. I ain't never did nothing to the lady. You know, I treated her like I treat everybody else. But she said it came out that my manager told me that, she didn't like me because of the fact that she said I was always too happy. Ain't nobody that happy all the time. Coming here singing and speaking to everybody and blah, blah, blah. Ain't nobody that happy all the time. What's something wrong with him? But Tucson, she didn't like me because she said I was too happy. I say it is like I told you what T said. It was like a spirit that was in her, like an evil spirit. Badger said she was just having a bad day or whatever. Badger says, something like he didn't want to see it as a spirit. But what do you see it as, Tucson? When a person don't like you just because of the fact that you're happy, what do you see that as?
When I was listening, I thought it would be more so. It reveals somebody's shortcomings or where they fail to achieve. People just can't be happy.
Wow.
They try. Even you see a person that is live a godly life, and some people have a tendency to they seem like they never can get there. And they have a desire to be there, but they can't get there. It's kind of almost like the Pharisees with Jesus. In all of their desire to be righteous, they fail because they try to keep up with that law. And then they see the word revealed, and they hated him to the core because they never was able to get there.
Wow.
But they kept pressing to be there. And when they saw the full fulfillment of what it took to submit to God, they crucified him. Not out of his failure, out of their failure.
Wow.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Yes. And Jesus said that we would be hated, though. He said we would be hated, for his name's sake. We would be hated because he was hated. So this is something to be expected because, number one, it's not flesh looking at flesh. It's spirit looking at spirit. So spirit identifies with spirit. And sometimes people don't even understand why they behave a certain type of way. They don't even understand it because they don't know that they're being influenced and led by an unclean spirit. They don't even realize it.
Wow.
Yeah,
but
and then here's another thing, because this whole thing.
Hold on.
Now, we realize it or not. Now shut up.
Tucson, yeah. Now, hold on. Yes, now, y'all know we got other people here. I got to go to them too, man. Y'all go up.
Well, I didn't have my 3 minutes. I'm gonna shut up. I ain't had my 3 minutes, but I don't mind. I got all day. I got all day. I said what I had.
There you go. Let me go to Toya with a T. Toya with a T. What's on your heart, sis? Toya?
I mean, you could have actually yielded it to one of them, but I mean, at the end of the day, an unclean spirit is a demonic spirit. I know it's a hard and bitter pill to swallow. I know it is, because that will also mean that sometimes when we be in our ways, we're possessed by an unclean or demonic spirit too. But that's definitely what it is. What's good, what's bad? You know what I'm saying? Even if you're having a bad day, that's still a bad spirit that has come and gotten you off your game. That's the point that I'm trying to express. And if we don't acknowledge what the root of it is, you can say the cause or the action that made you that way. The root of it is that there is a spirit which is unclean, that is still a demonic one. If it's not of God, it is a demonic spirit. So if you allow it to entertain your spirit, it controls an action, then you are possessed.
Yeah.
You are possessed. And you are irritated because you are possessed by a demonic spirit. You understand what I'm saying? And we don't understand that, but that's why we go and we get pills. That's why we go and we get all these other things. We drink, we smoke, we do drugs, we have sex to try to cope and deal with these things. When at the end of the day, the root of it is the influence of a demonic spirit that needs to be rebuked. Just saying. And until we understand how this world operates, how the dimensions operate, how all of this metaphorically, physically, scientifically, biologically, how all of these dimensions work when it comes to this flesh, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you believe. God created us. He gave us spirits, and things need to be dealt with by the spirit first in order for it to be
That's right.
manifested to the flesh,
Mhm.
in order for it to control any other thing else in this atmosphere, in this world. So when we get to the root of the problem, which is the spirit of the problem, we need to rebuke that and get rid of it. And that's how we are able to be conscious of that and go to work and say, nah, Lord, I rebuke that spirit. You is not going to have me cussing you out today because I'm on a different path and my spirit has
Yeah.
been changed. But
Mhm.
you walk around here not want to acknowledge it. How are you going to get rid of it? How are you going to stop it when the emotions come, when the actions come, when the consequences come? And it's a heap of them. And those spirits are mightier than yours because you can't feed your spirit because you don't know that's what you need to build. I mean, come on. Like, this is something that I know I've been delivered from, right?
Mhm. Yes.
So
Yes.
again, when I navigate through this world, I can already acknowledge what it is. So that's why I have to I don't have to have an emotion. Stuff can roll off my back because I'm gonna go pray about you. And I'm
Mhm.
not gonna pray that God did with you. I'm gonna pray that He infiltrates your mind like He did mine. Because I don't want Him to get you. No, please, Lord, don't get them. I want you to renew them. I want you to infiltrate their mind. I want you to take control like you did of me. Because that devil will have you tricked and you'll be up out of here thinking that you did the right thing on the right path. And really,
Mhm.
at the end of the day, when you your own God, you still gonna be in trouble.
Yes.
So you know what I'm saying? We just really have to acknowledge the root of all of our problems. And once we acknowledge and doctor that, it's gonna bring life to everything else.
That's good. That's good. Love that. Love that. Badger, go ahead. What's on your heart, brother?
So the reason I use different vocabulary is I refuse to give the devil or demon power over my choices because it's mine. That's the blessing Yahweh gave me.
Mm-hmm.
Is I have a choice to listen to the bad wolf or the good wolf, or the good wolf versus the bad wolf, however you want to say it. It's a choice. Now, some of us go through horrific things and all kinds of stuff, and I guess you can say that that's demonic. But a lot of times you find out that person's history was bad too. At some point, someone's got to break the curse.
And how do one do that?
Work on self.
Okay, that's the simple answer. But how does one do that?
Some do therapy, some can find a good pasture and sit down and discuss and talk with Yahweh,
Mm-hmm.
let it out. And it's a slow process. Some things it takes time to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Some can
It
heal
does take.
pretty quick and some take a while.
Mhm.
There's many people I know that what they went through their childhood because their parent was not a good person at all. They might have done good things here and there, but for the majority, they weren't very kind.
Mm-hmm.
And because of it, they won't even walk in a church because they're terrified. They've become fearful of conflict.
Why are they afraid?
That's the way trauma hijacks the brain.
Mm-hmm. And who
So
would you attribute all this stuff that you're saying that they're going through? Would you attribute that to a good or an evil spirit that's allowing them to do that or walk in that in that alley, in that vein, if you will?
that's where you asked me mine opinion, correct?
I ask you, what do you think is leading that person? It don't have anything to do with opinion. What do you think is leading that person? Do you think the good or the evil is leading that person? Come on,
They
Badger.
are, I know, they are leading themselves
No.
because throughout a person's life, they're always presented a way to better themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And in those moments, that person will either click or not. The whole concept of planting a seed, right? We've talked about that on the show, about planting a seed.
Badger, you got so many different. There's so many different alleys you just gave me
There's,
with what you just said because you know it's almost like and you may not mean it this way. You may not mean it this way at all, but it's almost like it sounds as though you're blaming the victim for being victimized. And I can't I don't like that part of it, because you cannot blame the victim for being victimized. If the person is being victimized by some kind of evil spirit, you can't blame the person that evil spirit is coming trying to victimize them. That evil spirit is doing what the evil spirit is going to do. And you saying that they have a choice. Sometimes they don't. Man, look at everybody is tempted. The devil tried to tempt Jesus, man. He tried to tempt Jesus. And so, nowhere at all are we anywhere close to being what Jesus is. But he tried to tempt Jesus. So he's gonna try to tempt us. You know that. And that's an evil spirit that's doing that. It's not the good spirit that's doing that. The good spirit will not allow you to do that. The good spirit would have you to say, good morning, brother. Good morning, sister. I hope you're having a great day as well. I love you. But the evil spirit will be like, I hate that person coming up to me every day, want to speak to me. What they want to speak to me for? That's the evilness, man. That's an evilness. And we have to in order to get rid of it, we got to recognize it. If we try to turn our back and try to act as if it does not exist, that's the best trick the devil has ever had, trying to make you think that he does not exist. That's one of his greatest tricks, making you think that he does not exist. Yes, he exists. And yes, I'm gonna cast him out every chance I get.
Just to clarify, I never said they don't exist.
No, I never said that you said that. My point was that's one of the devil's greatest tricks, making you think that he does not exist. I didn't say you said that, brother, but he try to make people think that he does not exist, and then that give him a playground in their life.
Let me clarify something very quickly. In the moment, the person that's being victimized doesn't have a choice. 15 years down the road.
That you just said everybody have a choice.
Everybody has
15 years
down
the road.
Yeah.
Because when you're a kid and you're having to deal with that, you are a victim in that situation. 15, 20 years down the road, you always provided you with ways to work on self. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, but you shot the ball from two different courts, because one time you say they don't have a choice, and now you're saying that everybody have a choice. So I don't know which ball we're playing with right now. But let me go to Pastor Marty. What's on your heart, sis? Talk to me.
Can I just say this one scripture that really clarifies it all with the root of what you're talking about? In Proverbs 13:10, it says, only, that one word says only by pride cometh contention, but with the well advised is wisdom. So in order for a person to be in that state of mind, just don't like you for no reason. These are arguments in their reasoning, in their head. These are arguments. So this contention thing, he's talking about only by that thing comes pride. Pride is the root thing of bringing the attention, is really all about yourself. You making this all about yourself. So you want to find fault in somebody else. And these are arguments that are going on in your flesh. All right. So the root of that is literally pride. And a person that does not have the spirit, we all know that by listening to everybody that's on the line that has something to say. I believe everybody understands this this truth. When you don't have the Spirit of God, like you just can't change yourself. You can't make yourself right. It's only by the Spirit of God that helps you to change these reasonings and to get rid of these arguments that's in your head effectively, without feeling, because I know that sometimes I felt like, I just was irritated. I came in and I ain't feel like, it may seem like I don't like you and this, that, and the other, but in my heart was something else. I was able to bring myself out of there because of his spirit. I was able to yield to his spirit and get my little self together. So it's not always, you're just influenced by some demonic spirit or some unclean spirit or whatever. I mean, some of us just have bad days, but like I said, when you see this repetitious behavior of what you were talking about in the first place, it's literally pride. So as far as that is concerned, I mean, they can't get rid of that. A person that doesn't belong to God unless they come to God, like the sister was saying. God delivered her. He rescued her. He rescued all of us. you know. So it's just now of a matter of decision. Okay, am I going to trust God? It's distrust.
Mm-hmm.
We don't trust what the word of God said. We don't trust what God said. So we start to act any type of way and yield to these. That's why he said, my sheep knows my voice. And a
Yes. Yes.
stranger's voice they shall not follow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
We're,
good.
we're listening to the other voice when
Mm-hmm.
we behave like that,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So
Absolutely.
anyway, that's why I wanted to just bring forth. I just wanted to bring forth that scripture of the root issue of this contentious mindset. You know,
Mhm.
these, because they are literally arguments that's going
Mhm.
on in the flesh in their minds, and they're always right. It makes them like a narcissist, almost
Yes, absolutely.
narcissistic behavior.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
you.
Exactly. Let me go to Tucson. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? I don't know what that thank you was for, but okay. Tucson, what's on your heart?
Um, uh, you know, we if you ask us as people, we think we have got it all together,
Mm-hmm.
and we think that, truth be told, this God thing is a myth. I don't know why I was thinking about the children of Israel and all the things that God did in their lives when the truth came out, and the reality of even their freedom out of bondage was at hand. I'm talking about they were right there, and they told the leader, "We told you to leave us alone."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to figure this whole thing out because they couldn't see God doing nothing.
No.
It was all about them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're like that. We think that there ain't no devil, there ain't no evil spirit, there ain't no godliness. There is all about us people. And we got all the power within ourselves to succeed and fail. It's just us. We in this thing by ourselves. Y'all talking about that, and when you're dead, you're done. That's the biggest trick of the enemy that ever was told.
Come on. Come on.
And we keep pushing that down the road, and the frustration of trying to show mankind godliness is unbearable every day, to be honest with you. I don't even want to fool with folks because you open that word and you try to reveal to them godly truths, and they think you stupid.
Wow.
That's why I play dumb most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I'm sorry, but I when you talk that Raheem, I said you could learn a lot from a dummy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because people think they're smart.
Mm-hmm.
They really think they're smart.
Mm-hmm.
They do all kinds. They full of book information, but it's kind of like people that's on the job. The superior one. I'm talking about the ones that's up in the Oval Office, or not Oval Office, but corporate office. They got degrees upon degrees, and they really, when you really come down to it, they have to use this stamp to sign their name because they can't do it themselves.
Wow. Wow.
So I think that our lack of just acknowledging God and godliness in people for who they are in Him is the most frustrating thing that causes people to just hate you because you're trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
You're trying to submit to who you need to submit to. All of us. I'm talking about all of us.
Yes. Yes.
But
absolutely.
Because we think that this is just you talking. No, it's talking about God and it ain't no the devil and I'm trying to shut up. The scribes and the Pharisees and the Sadducees were the keepers of the law, and they got it they got it so down packed. They shut up heaven from everybody else but them.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Cassandra, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, we're talking about spirits, and we're talking about I had this young lady when I worked at AutoZone, system manager over at AutoZone. She didn't like me because of the fact she said I was always too happy. She said I was just too happy. Ain't no way nobody that happy all the time. I've actually shared the story on here before, and I'm saying, and Toya was saying that that's an evil spirit. That's an evil spirit that's in her that make her not like me because of the fact that I'm always so happy, joyful, walking around the building, singing all the time. Badger said that, it's just that she's going through a certain situation in her life that, he don't think it's an evil spirit that's leading her to feel that way. What do you say it is, Cassandra? Every time this lady see me, she don't like me and really don't want to talk to me at all. Not because of something I did to her or the way that I treated her or mistreated her, but because I'm just happy all the time. Ain't nobody happy like that all the time. Cassandra, what is that?
Yeah, no, it actually both of you could be right because it may be something that trauma, something mentally that has happened to her where she, the saying it's an old folk saying, misery loves company. So some people are so sad within themselves that they can't even stand the idea of seeing anyone happy or
Wow.
anyone, going through life and enjoying life. That bothers them. And then there are people, I have dealt with people with evil spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something, it ain't no joke.
Mm-hmm.
For me, discernment, when I'm around people that actually have evil spirits operating through them, I can feel it. Once they come into my atmosphere, immediately I can feel
Yeah.
what is happening within them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the gifts of God are so important. There are gifts of the Spirit for people that have never read it. There are certain gifts within us that we know as Christians we can feel when we're around evil. You should be able to discern when you're around somebody that is possessed, as they say. Some people call it possessed, or people that are just operating in the evil spirit. After almost 40 years in ministry, I'm going to tell you, it is real. It is real. So it could have been either thing. It could be that she has some mental issues. And I talked about this. I think, Raheem, I mentioned this to you, that somebody that I know that has mental issues, that she will go off and say things to you that will, get people so angry that they want to fight her.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
But that's a mental issue that she has. And then I've been around people that actually have evil spirits, and man, you can feel that thing so strong. It is ridiculous. So I'm not going to say which one she was dealing with, but yeah, that simple old folks saying that misery loves company is true. Some people cannot stand to see people that are happy. Oh, that just like you said, they say just like that. Oh, how come she happy all the time? How come he happy all the time? The joy of the Lord is our strength. That's what my word says.
Exactly.
So I'm operating in the joy of the Lord. No, I don't walk around, tiptoe. No, I don't do that. But I come back and I bounce back from stuff really quickly. So
well, let me ask you this question, and we got quite a few other people that's on the line. I'm going to come to each and every one of you, and I definitely appreciate you all being here. Cassandra, but even if we're dealing with that, you say one is an evil spirit that's in that person, but the person that just don't like anybody because of the fact that they're so happy or they're so joyful and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What is leading? And I asked Badger this question as well. What do you think is leading them to feel this way? Because it's not a good spirit that's leading them to feel that way about a person. So what do you think it is?
Oh, absolutely. We know it's not. Yeah, we know it's not going to be anything good that would have you like that. But like I said, sometimes it's mental illness. Like I'm going to tell you one of the conditions that I deal with as a counselor, bipolar people. Man, the people will flip on you so fast. You like, what the heck just happened? They can be one moment they have extreme highs. The next moment they have extreme lows where they're angry and they're agitated, and you're going like, wait a minute, now this person was just like smiling and enjoying themselves and laughing. So, and that's from a clinical side.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know whether Kurt is on here or Navy, those of us that in the mental health field, I don't know. But yeah, it's real, Raheem. It's real. They don't even realize that they flip like that.
Mm.
They don't
Wow.
even realize it.
Wow. Wow. And that's deep right there. You say they don't even realize it. And my question is,
No, they don't.
and my question of that is, are they really just are they that possessed that they don't realize it? Are they that have they been sucked in so much that they don't realize? Go, the devil, he gonna take you as far as he could take you and keep you as long as he can keep you. And so that's a lot. Somebody was about to say something.
Yeah, Raheem, I just want to say, this is Pastor Marnie. I just want to say one more thing, and I'm going to back completely off, because what people have deemed as far as medical is concerned, and they call things mental this, mental that. Do they know that what mental really is? Mental is just of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's still of the senses.
Mm-hmm.
That is the place. It's literally is relating to disorders of the mind. That's what a mental issue is, but it's still influence. That is still the senses. All of the senses, all of the five senses are still dealing with flesh. That is still the place where the enemy resides. Now, the medical field has deemed this as, bipolar this and this, and that. They came with all kind of names, but at the end of the day, the beginning of the day, it's still influenced by spirits. That's what it is.
Wow. Yeah.
They had to come up with a name for it and all of that, and these people don't know what it is. It's spirits. Mm-hmm. It's still spirits. Mm-hmm. So when they acting unseemly like that, and you can always identify when a spirit is operating through a person and they don't really have control, whether it's just a possession or oppression or whatever you want to call it, it's still spirit, because everything, we can't get around it, no matter scientifically, no theology, we can't get around the fact that spirit is what we deal with first. Mm-hmm. It's spirit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's where the enemy gets the foothold. It gets the foothold in our mind. It gets the stronghold in our minds, and it manifests in those type of ways. Bipolar, mm-hmm. Contentiousness, and all those different behaviors is just the manifestation of what's happening in the spirit of mm-hmm. your mind.
Wow. That's
so
good.
I just wanted to be clear with that, so we can have a clear understanding of what's going on, because these doctors and all of them, they named this stuff. They had to give a name. They don't understand things in spirit unless it's a believer,
mm-hmm.
And they understand the things, and they just happen to be a doctor. But outside of that, this is what we're dealing with.
So basically what I'm hearing you say is we're expecting the world to understand things from a spiritual standpoint, and it's real difficult for them to do that.
I'm sorry?
We're expecting, am I hearing you say that we're expecting when you say the doctors are giving the names and titles and stuff like that, we're expecting the world to understand something on a spiritual realm, and they can't do that?
Absolutely. But what's troubling is when we as believers, we take their word as Bible. These doctors, and remember in there when they talked about that woman with the issues of blood and this and that, and she went and spent all these money on the doctors, and the word itself in Mark tells us that the doctors made her worse.
Yeah.
They made her worse.
Mm-hmm.
So it still results back to what the truth is. We got to understand what the truth of the matter is. And the word reveals that to us. He gives us all these different depictions of what we're up against. We're not wrestling against flesh and blood,
mm-hmm.
but we're wrestling against, and he tells us, principalities, powers, and all that. Rulers of darkness, world, spiritual wickedness in high places, and all of that. It's still spirit. It's still pointing the finger back to spirit.
Good deal.
That's what we're dealing with.
Good deal. Hang out right there, sis. Hang out.
Yes.
Hang out with us. Stay right there for a second. If you can't, stay right there with us. We got a couple other people I want to bring into the conversation. Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem, and the Morning Glow family.
Hey, good morning. Good to have you, brother. Good to have you. We asking a question. We're talking about spirits this morning. And I shared the story about the young lady at AutoZone that did not like me because she said I was always too happy. Ain't nowhere in the world nobody that happy. Leonard, you hung out a few times, man. I speak to everybody, man. I ain't bringing no David Downer with me. I'm speaking to everybody. How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. She didn't like that about me, man. She said I'm too happy. I'm singing and all of that stuff. I'm always speaking to people, and ain't nowhere in the world nobody's that happy. Told you what the T said that's a spirit that's in here. That's a spirit that's in her that's leading her to do that way, an evil spirit. And Badger said that he don't think it's an evil spirit. It's just that maybe it's her experiences of life or what have you. What do you say it is, Leonard? And what's leading her to feel that way about somebody that's never done nothing to her?
Well, don't nobody have to do nothing to you for you to be envious of them.
Envious, okay.
So it could be just that. Maybe she is searching for happiness and can't find it. And here you is seem to have an abundance of it.
Mm-hmm.
So she
Wow.
is more so envious of you. Because think about it. Does she just dislike you because of this? Or does she just dislike happy people in general? It's
It, it,
probably because
it
she's
was said
envious.
it was said that she, it was said that she disliked me because of that. But I can see where you're going with that. Go ahead.
Right, because there could be other reasons why she don't like you. But I know people who I wonder from a completely different perspective why some people are happy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not from an envious point of view, but it's just surprising
Mm-hmm.
to meet people like that. You can learn from people like that
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
are happy all the time
Mm-hmm.
because they have something obviously that you don't. Do you seek happiness? Would you rather be happy? There is a spirit that does not want to be happy.
Wow.
That's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that she envies your happiness, but she could just be a worker of iniquity, period.
Wow. Wow.
So
Wow.
it only takes it just depends on who you're dealing with at the time. There are some people who are just on a mission to make everybody else miserable.
Wow. And I have to say, man, that's an evil spirit that's in them to make them want to do that.
Yes, because they're on a mission.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And those people are identified by their behavior.
Mm-hmm.
We're just really getting into mental illness and the study of mental illness, and we've already screwed it up.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't say that everybody that does something you don't like or has the wrong point of view is mentally ill, because they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to remember, before medicine, this all was handled by workers of the spirits.
Yes.
Before there was all this medicine and all this other stuff,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
there were people who dealt with spirits of
Yes.
situations.
Amen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you
That's
have
good.
to be, everything I believe is within our control. And I think, like, say, for instance, a person is acting out, has a mental illness. No, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they just have a discipline problem, a behavior problem.
Mm-hmm.
If it's out of their control, that's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
But you
Mm-hmm.
can't allow, what we're doing now is we're giving too many people excuses for bad behavior.
Yes. Oh Lord Jesus.
That is the issue. And now we're calling everything that is different than the norm mental illness, and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
There
Mm-hmm.
are just some people who have poor character, who do not really have a concern for others, and that's the way they live. And they will envy your. Think about the rich man who envies the poor man, because the poor man seems happy,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and the rich man seems full of issues despite all he has.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very very interesting subject. I think that's where a lot of study is going to be, because it's so different. We've been able to classify some things, and we've even put them in a nice little book for you to look at.
Mm-hmm.
But too many people have gotten used to calling their bad habits mental illness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We got a person that's actually on watching us they're on LinkedIn, and they said this is what they said. I would assume caller misspoke when they said wrong POV point of view, I guess is what they're saying. And second thing they said was Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates do not envy any poor man. I don't know them personally, so I can't say whether
Right.
or
I don't
not.
know them personally, but
Yeah.
plenty of rich people have killed themselves
Mm-hmm.
because they cannot find happiness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
508-924-3521. The phone lines are open. We are live right now. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input as well. Mr. Hicks, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Frank, coming to you next.
Good
Zeke?
morning. Good morning, Ryan. I couldn't find that button.
There you go. I got you. I got you.
Greetings,
What is on
greetings,
your heart,
family.
brother? Greetings, brother. Good to have you this morning. What is on your heart based on what we're talking about? Is it an evil spirit that would not allow that person to like me because I'm always so happy, or is it just that they're having a bad existence? I guess I could say it that way. What do you say to that?
I sort of connected to the Cain and Abel.
Mm-hmm.
The Cain and Abel kind of seemed to be the root. I see the roots back in the very basics of things. I think that there was envious and wasn't. It's envious because you're blessed, and the anger is at God. It's anger at the source,
Mm-hmm.
because you
Wow.
know when you're chasing for wealth and you're chasing for things, and you look around and there's your brother. You know, you're doing pretty much what he's doing on the outside, but the inside is different. And you get angry with God. The first murder, the first bloodshed was based off that. It was
Mm-hmm.
based off of anger with God. And source says that there's a line that stand at your door. You got a choice. You know, the ancients, many discovered ancient texts show a belief in things that they call archons and jinns and these spirits that inhabit dark places and caves and deserts. But there is a spiritual reality we don't see, and not just from academic point of view. I actually was in the grips of these things. I mean, and I look back when my deliverance was showing me that they were there,
Mm-hmm.
and showing me that they were implanted there through my childhood, through wounds and hurts. I think that, and we're all of us. You know, we're domesticated. We're around environments, and we're trying. You know, it's almost like you think about mental illness. Think about young folks, my son in particular, that generation. They have so much information technology flooding them. They adapting to so many things so fast, and everything in the architect that designed the society is to cause confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only way bad people can rule if they keep people in fear and anger and dissension with each other. And that envious thing, envious, jealousy, and you can feel it. But it's like, how do you be a true Christian when you look at the words of Jesus the Christ and his commandments, and even when you look at Buddhism, the similarities in terms of about suffering and about turning the other cheek and praying for those. It's calling you to really tap into something that you aren't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you can, but it's possible to do it. But
yeah,
but it's never done deal. I fall off the horse a lot. I do.
We all do, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to and we're gonna go to Frank. We had a couple other people calling in. Y'all can hear the lines are blowing up this morning. I definitely appreciate each and every one that's taking the time to call in this morning. But I want to Leonard, I guess this is targeted toward you, brother. So Leonard, let me see. You're there. Read that for me and respond to that.
Most recent data from 2022 I can find is that poor and more than 3 times likely to commit acts of self-harm than wealthy. Take that for what you wish.
They're talking to you, Leonard. Respond.
I mean, I don't know why they would be talking to me.
Because y'all was having a conversation about the poor committing suicide or the rich committing suicide, and that's their rebuttal or response to what you said.
Right. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Rich people do commit suicide because they're not happy.
Okay. We'll leave it right there. All right, good deal. Frank, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Well, Raheem, I'm very happy this morning. I think the very condition that you're talking about, you may be struggling with, because I'm extremely happy. I'm just curious, are you happy for me?
You just curious what now?
Are you happy for me this morning?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Just wondering, because I don't know if we watched the same thing last night, but moving on.
Super Bowl bound. They're going to the Super
Lord,
Bowl.
here we go. Bring your garbage into the conversation. Bring your garbage into the conversation.
See,
leave the garbage on the curb. Leave that garbage on the curb.
He's texting me during the game, carrier pigeons, everything flying by my house. Nah, he's like, what in the world are you talking about?
Look
But
at
that's okay.
Leave that garbage on the
Anyway,
curb, man. Leave that
you know,
garbage on the curb. Somebody gonna come and
oh, no,
somebody gonna come and pick it up, man.
no.
Somebody gonna come and pick it up. I promise you. We got people designated to come and pick up the garbage off the curb. Put it on the curb, brother.
So,
Mhm.
man, I agree with what everybody is saying, and I think that the person that sent that information is going to a different extreme, a totally different extreme than what Leonard was talking about. And what, you know, and I'm not going to explain what he was saying. It definitely does not need explaining. But a lot of times, our definition of rich and poor is off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because he made an example of people that have financial riches. That really doesn't make them rich. There's so many people. You can look at a woman and at first glance, she is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Then you encounter her and her personality is so ugly that all of that beauty goes out the window.
Yes.
But I'm not even gonna go down that road. But I wanted to come at this in a different way, and with what you're saying as far as people being angry or miserable or whatever else.
What
I
was
wanna
she?
look at
This
this
young
in a
lady. This
little
young lady
different.
said.
Go
This
ahead.
young lady said, Frank, that she didn't like me because I was happy. I was too happy all the time. Ain't nowhere in the world nobody that happy all the time, and she didn't like me for that reason.
But you know what though, Raheem, with
Mhm.
that, especially as believers, the one thing that I tell a lot of new believers is the first thing that you make when you encounter people are an enemy, because a lot of times your spirit is in conflict with theirs. It's not about you.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you were bringing that type of joy into the building every morning, and it's probably because of the things that she was going through. And it may have grieved her to see that type of happiness, because that wasn't her existence. That wasn't what she was experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't personal. She didn't know you. See, that's the thing about people saying different things about me or trying to put titles on me. You don't even know me. So it really doesn't mean that much. But as a believer, and because our jobs, one of our biggest jobs is restoration, all that does is allow me to locate you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people, because I come from a athletic background, and athletes by nature are very aggressive. We can be in your face, kind of aggressive, and that rubs some people the wrong way. So sometimes I have to tone it down,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and with some people. But you know, you're gonna time me out, man, and I do have something to say. But anyway, one thing that blessed me in my marriage, and I hope this blessed other young men, is that, and like I said, I do have a very strong personality.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're around somebody like my wife, who is laid back, you can be overbearing. So the one thing that I had to learn early on in marriage is, a lot of times when my wife brings things to me, she doesn't bring them to me to solve. And it took me like 5 years to get that. She's coming to me, she's processing it. She's explaining it. She's talking to her mate. But guess what she did not want me to do? To fix it.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted me to listen to what was on her heart. And I was like, shit. See that?
Mm-hmm.
See what you did to me?
Hey,
So
3 minutes,
let
brother.
me finish this.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but let me finish this thought, then I'm gonna let you go.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, the people that we put a label on as miserable or mean, we played a role in.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, a lot of times that could be true. But like I say, I don't know what role I played in her not liking me, because when I walked,
No.
yeah.
No, none.
Okay.
Yeah, none.
Okay.
Two different things.
Got you.
Yeah.
Good deal. Cap,
Go
good.
on.
Raheem,
Talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Captain, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Good morning to my Morning Glow family.
Hey, good morning to you as well, sir. What do you say about a person that don't like this example? This young lady did not like me. I never did anything to her. First time I met her is when I walked in the door at AutoZone. I was a assistant manager over there. And so she didn't like me because she said I was happy all the time. Ain't nowhere in the world nobody that happy. You coming here singing and speaking to everybody, and ain't nowhere in the world nobody that happy all the time. Every time I see you, you happy. And she didn't like me because I was happy all the time. What do you see in that, Cap? Talk to me.
Well, I'm in agreement with it. I don't like you either. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
I mean,
all right. Well, that's all right.
I don't like it because you be fishing and I don't be fishing. You catch fishing, I don't like your shoes. I don't like your car. I don't like your happy spirit when I'm catching hell. I mean, they're crazy people like that. That's right.
Yeah.
And we spend our time trying to figure out why somebody don't like us. My Lord, brother, we be here all day long.
Yeah.
I like my man Frank. Frank said some things, man, that kind of said, wow, man, that's Frank kind of similar to myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a captain, man. You know, that's why you call me captain. And I have a very aggressive attitude. And I'm like what Frank said. My wife all the time, you know, I'm all the time trying to solve something. And some things, like you said, man, just listen. I ain't telling you this to be solved. But that's the way we men think, you know, that have that aggressive attitude. I just wanted to comment on that. So Frank, just thank you, man. You ain't by yourself in that boat, man.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, you know, listen, jealousy and enviness is very real. And it had nothing to do with your smile. It had something to do with the mood that you were in. You were in a very happy mood. You're a very wonderful person, Raheem.
Praise God.
You don't come off as the kind of guy that somebody could be upset with, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You don't come in with a mean mug face. Even when you come on this show, setting the mood with a beautiful spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to my words. A beautiful spirit.
To God be the glory. Yes, sir.
Spirit only means to me a beautiful mood, a beautiful attitude, a beautiful way. And so you got people that are very miserable in life. They're jealous because you know and they don't know. One thing about an envious person, I heard Minister Farrakhan say, he said an envious person is a person that don't want what you have. An envious person is one who believes you don't deserve it.
Wow.
That's all.
Wow.
Sometimes it ain't that they want what you have. They just don't believe you deserve it. Sometimes we have people like that, and that's crazy. No, man, we're going to always live in a life of people that's jealous and envious of you. Whether you're a man that smiles, whether you every time they see you, you got a good comment, and what you say makes sense. You always know something, and what you say, you speak what you know. You say what you mean and mean what you say. People be jealous and envious of that. They jealous and envious right now of this show, The Morning Glow. Well, hell, I'm jealous of Dr. Leonard. I wish I was as handsome as he was, man, as he is. You know,
I'm coming to see Cap. I'm going to see Cap. I'm going to see.
He's laid back. You don't look like you have a trouble in the world, man. I'll be like, man, don't he get mad about something? But no, we family. But there's a difference between jealousy and enviness. Enviness, man, is a character, a rotten character that cannot be redeemed.
Yeah.
A jealous person is that we all go through jealousy. Children go through jealousy. I think there's a problem with you, man. Not because it's you. She got a problem with herself, brother.
Absolutely.
Right? That's what that is.
Absolutely.
She got to just keep wishing her a good day, man.
Exactly.
May God bless you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cassandra, what's on your heart, sis?
Well,
Uh-oh.
I'm
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
yeah. I'm I
Come on.
I don't know.
Come
I
on.
don't know
Mm-hmm.
because I've worked in the mental health field for a lot of years, and I'm scared about the fact that all my life I've heard Christians and I've been saved since 21. I'm 64 now. I love God. I operate in the spirit of God, but I'm afraid of Christians that say that people are not mentally ill, that it's just a spirit. I get that, that if that's what you believe, that's fine, but it has been documented with even scientific. I mean, I'm talking chemical. You can see the imbalance in people's brains. And I know that I've had several people in my family that have dealt with mental illness. My nephew was actually killed by police because he was in a mental state. And I know he was not evil. I know he did not have demons. I know that for a fact. So it bothers me that we always, as Christians, go that route and, it's just a demon, it's just a spirit. I'm sorry, I disagree. I will always disagree with that because I've worked in the mental health field. If you've been around some of these people, you have discernment, you will know that they do not have evil spirits. You will discern that. And if you can't discern that it's not an evil spirit, then that's sort of on you. But if you're operating in the gifts and you're operating in the spirit of God, you will know that everybody that has mental illness does not have a demon. If you say it's a spirit, then you should be able to discern that spirit within the person. And if you know that person, you would be able to know, no, that is not a demon. And that's where I've taken my position on it. I always have. I know when I'm dealing with the demon.
Mm-hmm.
My spirit literally tightens up when I'm around people that are operating in demonic places. So everybody has their own opinion, and I'm just, I'm just not going to go along with that because Christians, we do that and we demonize people, and that's why people don't like Christianity, a lot of people, because we always want to, everything is a demon. No, it's not. There are people with actual mental illness that you can look on a brain scan and see that their brain operates differently than other people. So, this is one that I won't say anything else on this one because, like I said, I've dealt with mental illness for years. And I know, and I've worked with my bishop over the years to cast demons out of people. So I know what that is, the spirit is, compared to a person that is mentally ill.
Okay, good deal. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Let me go to Tucson. Tucson, he's been quiet over there for a minute. Stanley, coming to you next.
That's the greatest achievement of wisdom. Shut your mouth. Lord have mercy. There's two things,
Lord.
Raheem, and I
Yes,
don't
sir.
know. And I hear and I understand. But when I thought about this man that was came to Jesus. He came to the disciples, and this boy was so tormented by something. He was so, I don't know if he was mentally ill or what, but he shouldn't have had some issues. And I think, I don't know if I got two stories mixed up, but his disciples tried to handle him. Let me say it like that. And they couldn't do nothing with him. Jesus says some things you got to just fast and pray about. I don't know what his problem was, but I know he had something going on. There's two things that we got going on in our lives. Walking in the flesh or walking in the spirit. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. You're doing one or the other.
Yep.
That's
Mhm.
it.
Wow.
I mean, I hear, and I know science and doctors and scholars have searched it out and they come up with stuff, and I understand it. But you're gonna either do one when it really comes and rubber meets the road. You're gonna walk in the spirit or you're gonna walk in the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Mm-hmm.
contrary to one another. I think I put down on the post Galatians 5. I think it's 5. I think it's 5. And it talks about those two things. And if you see the behavior of man, you see one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
It's just as clear as the nose on your face.
Yes. Wow.
And this war we have, it ain't about us as a people. Is walking in what we think we all about. It's me, my, I. Ain't got nothing to do with God. Ain't got nothing to do with Jesus. Ain't got nothing to do with the Spirit. Ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. Ain't got to do nothing. You ain't got to be Muslim. You ain't got to be no. It's just me. I'm on my own. We think we own our own.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But if you're not led by the Spirit of God, that's how you're gonna conduct yourself. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Some might not be too bright or whatever the case may be, but check it out and read it for yourself and see how we conduct ourselves among each other, and it'll be clear.
Mm-hmm. And he got 18 seconds to spare. He got 18 seconds to spare. Ain't that something? Stanley, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing good, brother. How you this morning?
Hey, doing good. Good to have you, brother. We're talking about spirits and how a person could not. Example, the young lady said she didn't like me because I was always too happy. There's no way nobody's always happy like that all the time. Walking around here singing and greeting people and being happy like that all the time. There's no way. What does that say to you if a person don't like you just because of the fact that you're happy?
Well,
Is that a
first of
spirit?
all, I rather know they don't like me up front than I know how to deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I rather somebody let me know they don't like me, and then I don't have to worry about them, being around them or talking about me behind my back because you already know they don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of folks that are fake. They act like they like you. They smile in your face and all that, but then they steady, run you down behind your back or talk about behind your back. So I can respect a person
all
that
the time. They want to take your
front.
place. They're
Now,
backstabbers.
it's silly the reason that she don't like you, for being the person you are, but at least you know how to deal with that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
A
exactly.
lot of folks don't like me. A lot of folks don't like you, but we can't live our life worrying about who likes us or not.
Mm-hmm. That's
You know,
good.
we got to keep pushing. But at least I really know up front.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So you know how to deal with them, or who to stay away from,
Right.
Not even deal with. Exactly. Good deal. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Pastor Marty, you still with us? Pastor Marty, you still with us? Okay. We have a caller from the 803 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Nadine. Good morning.
Hey, Nadine. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, Brother Raheem. How's the morning for Morning Glow family? Y'all caught me as I was going in the post office.
Oh, okay. Good deal. What's on your heart? I know you've been listening in for a minute. So what's on your heart?
Well, I don't see how anyone can not like you, Raheem. You are the the happiest person. You make me happy in the morning.
To God be the glory. Absolutely.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to Cassandra.
Yes.
In the mental institution field.
Uh-huh. Say it again.
And she's in the mental institution field, medical.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I totally agree with her.
I thought you was asking me, was Cassandra crazy? I was gonna say I ain't gonna be able to answer that question now.
No. No. I suffer my disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Who I don't understand
or chemical balance.
Mm-hmm.
Get on the scan and all that kind of stuff. You go to therapist, and where I was going with this.
Mm-hmm.
Go to therapy, and you can't really get help from a therapist because it's all about the dollars.
Mm-hmm.
For some of them, not all of them. So some people believe that it's just a title that the doctor's time is up already.
No, that was somebody came in.
Oh, yeah. Some people think that it's just a spirit on you. Like Cassandra was saying, you gotta discern by the spirit. You know if someone is faking or whatever the case may be. Used to have this lady used to come into my business, and she was tell that she had a spirit on her.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say, people need to stop trying to point the finger and trying to analyze everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't know what they're going through. The person at a job that I used to work in, I don't know why this woman hated me. Just hate me for no reason. And the Lord had told me to just bless her.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, really, Lord?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
serious?
Mm-hmm.
He said, just give her what I told you to give her. And I was obedient, and I did. Seen her years later when I opened a business, and she came into the store, and I was like, you didn't like me. I don't know why you didn't like me. She said, I never not liked you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what was going on. It's not for me to figure out.
Yeah.
That's for God. That's why we have a Lord and Savior, for
Mm-hmm.
Him to deal with all of that. But see people that don't, there's a frown on their face, and they have to register and so forth. I give them a word of encouragement. I just say, it's better.
Mm-hmm.
Me.
There you
I'll
go.
come back around. I'll
Good
be
deal.
listening in.
Good deal. Good deal. And let me do this. I have to do this right now. I got to say good morning to my mom. She's actually watching over there. She's in South Carolina. So got to do my shout out to mom. Love you dearly, baby. Love you. Thank you for watching. And we're going to keep this thing going. We're talking about spirits this morning. And how can a person not like?
Raheem,
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
would you just allow me a moment, because I'm gonna have to get off, but I'm literally, tearing up because of all of the misconceptions that Christians put on people. Raheem, I'm telling you.
Come on, sis. Come on.
I have been in churches and working with someone that they said was demon possessed. They had taken this girl from church to church, and they brought him to my bishop in South Carolina, who was known for operating in demonic possessions and casting out spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And when the girl walked in the church with her family, he immediately said, this child, there is no demon. They had taken this child all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
Got her on the floor, foaming at the mouth, everything that they say to this child did not change. She said, there is not a demon in this child.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you need to take her to get professional help. Now, yeah, he may not have been good at what he did, but he was definitely the person that people came to, and people were delivered. People were delivered. This child, when this girl came in, he said, there is no demon in this child.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get her some professional help.
Yeah.
So it just hurts me, man, to my core that we demonize people when it may be just a mental illness. I've seen people that have been delivered, and then I've seen people that got on medication and changed.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, and I mean total transformation.
Yeah.
But I'm going to leave that right there, and I'm going to get off because it really hurts me to just hear the conversation.
Okay.
And if you've worked in the mental health field and you're a Christian, you know that there is a difference between a person being possessed and a person that has mental health issues.
Okay. If you can, Cassandra, stay with. We're gonna switch up a little bit. If you can, stay with us just a little long. I want to go right now to I think we
I'll
have.
be listening. I'll be listening.
I think we have Navy with the Navy. Are you with us? Shanavia?
Hey, good morning. How y'all doing?
Hold on, I
Hey,
gotta
what's
say it
your
right.
name again?
Shanavia, I gotta
Hey,
say it.
Navy. I'm so glad. Hey, Navy.
Navy, talk. Do you how do you grasp what Cassandra just said? How does that hit home with you, or what are your feelings towards that?
Growing up in church, having my own stint away from church, and being in this field, I mean, do you see some overlapping things? Absolutely. I mean, there is a sense of like your spiritual self is part of your. I teach on the total person, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. That's part of our self-care. That's what makes us up. And then if you want to add other things, absolutely. But I think where we have to have a very careful conversation about how we overlap spiritual warfare, which is very real, with mental illness, because I go back to what I said when I first came on this podcast, which is nobody talks about mental illness unless it's wrapped in a crisis, or unless there's no other logical reason for a person's behavior. And mental health nor spirituality is absolute. We try to put it in this box. We try to make it a cookie cutter thing that fits whatever narrative that we're pushing, but there is no absolute to either one. And that's just my personal opinion. I'm sure someone will disagree, but that's just me. I can't always say that someone that is, I don't know, going through some things that is just spiritual, or if they're acting out of character that, you know, is not spiritual, but that they're possessed by a demon. I mean, one example that I'll use is we tend to overuse calling someone bipolar just because you were happy yesterday or you were good yesterday, but today you're feeling a little off. Oh, he or she's bipolar. And we saturate that so much. But I'm like, no, a person that truly has bipolar isn't, they are not demonic. And just because they're having a bad day doesn't mean that they have mental illness. Like someone with bipolar, literally a chemical dysfunction of the brain. Like, think of some of these things as an emotional and mental traumatic brain injury. Whenever we go through trauma, it literally alters the chemical, I won't say alters the chemical makeup, but the functioning of your brain. Your brain is not firing off on all cylinders the way that it needs to. Again, is there a spiritual aspect to what we do? Absolutely. And do we sometimes get people in our office that come in with something a little extra? Yes, we do. And I experienced that a few weeks ago for myself. So we're not discrediting that there is a spiritual aspect, and even to some degree a demonic aspect to it. But everyone that is going through or has a legitimate mental health disorder is not demonic. And we have to get away from that. And I think that's why the need for mental health in the church is such a it's almost like an oxymoron now, because everything for some churches tend to be demonic rather than dealing with the person, and trying to at least extend resources. And that's something that I have to credit my uncle for, because he'll tell you quick, hey, we have therapists that are in here. I know my limit. Here's someone else that can help you with the other half of it.
Yes, good. That's good. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Leonard.
Raheem. Okay. all hail the good Bishop Gregory Adams.
Bishop, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I am blessed, man. Leonard, you just cracked me up with that one, boy. I tell you the truth. You ever cease to amaze me, my brother. I love you, man. I really do. Yeah, I'm great this morning, man. Thank you so much, and for this show and this topic, and everyone that's calling in and giving opinions and views. And I have to agree with, was that young lady just got through speaking and understanding
Mm-hmm.
the difference between being possessed and then having a mental disorder.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at bipolar, it is classified as mental illness, same thing with schizophrenia, but it is not classified as having a demonic spirit. And so I don't want people to misunderstand or misinterpret everything, giving credit to the devil for everything that someone is going through in their life. Now, jealousy, that's an evil spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm jealous of Raheem. I don't like Raheem. That's not bipolar. That's not mental illness. That's the person that has the evil spirit within them. Jealousy creates animosity or hate. And
Mm-hmm.
anybody that's jealous of you because of who you are and what you got going on, your pleasant personality or whatever the case may be, they just don't like you. That's an evil mind that's operating through that person right there. So, and a person with bipolar, they ain't turning around talking about, I hate you. I don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
Raheem, in fact, man, I'm going to say, I don't like you, Raheem. I don't like you at all. I love you.
Yes, sir.
You're my friend.
Likewise.
You're my brother.
Yes, sir.
So you turn around and say when what you got going on, you got a podcast or a show or anything, you're doing good, and because I'm not doing it, that's what jealousy kicks in,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a foul spirit within itself.
Yes, sir.
So we have to, we don't, and I understand where Cassandra's coming from, and the other lady, and working in certain fields, and as a police officer, former police officer, we had to be trained to identify people that had bipolar, and except with bipolar or schizophrenia.
Mm-hmm.
And not one time did we call for the priest to come in and lay hands on them. This is, I take the holy oil and spread it all across them and say, I adjure you in the name of Jesus, remove this foul spirit. And I didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing how to identify those who suffer with those things. And it's written in the Bible, the book of Matthew begins to talk about, folks that had evil spirits and lunatics. And that's what we classify people that have, mental disorders as lunatics because of the way they act out.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's it. That's all I got to say about that, my brother.
Good deal. Good deal. We're going to go in this order right here. We're going to go Leonard, Toussaint, Mr. Hicks, Cap, Frank, then we're going to go to Cassandra. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Listen to the various points of view about it. It can be very different. Like I said before, when you could not see, you used what you saw, what you had, the evidence of that thing. Now, because of technology, now you can look at a brain. There are some people that do have issues, but what we have to be careful about is, okay, I love to cheat on my wife. I can't stop. Do I have a mental illness?
No, you got an addiction.
But what's making me do that?
Cray.
Could be.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to negate one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
But when a demon leaves you, you return to you just fine. So people who deal in that realm of things, they have different points of view. When we first came on, we talk about spirits. I like mine on ice. How about you?
Lord Jesus.
But what I think what the bigger issue is when we try to classify everybody that has negative behavior as being mentally ill.
Mm-hmm.
When you can do everything you want to on the street, but soon you're in front of court, and all of a sudden you're mentally ill.
Mm-hmm.
You're making all the decisions that everybody else making, but every time you want to do something, now it's because of your illness. So we have to be very careful. There are certain things that happen to certain people that are beyond our control. Man has no choice but to call it as he sees it for as much as that he can see.
Mm-hmm.
But just because somebody is not behaving a certain way or making bad choices, don't make them mentally ill.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think, people in the church get used to calling things because there is a notoriety as it relates to casting out demons. Sometimes you travel the world for a different opinion if one don't fit, if one don't work, or if one don't explain. So we must put it all together to come up with ways to help a person. but no one is just so right that everybody else is wrong.
That's
And
good.
that's what I think we forget. Does Jesus have respect for mental illness?
Absolutely.
Do you get to go up there and say, I was doing this, that, and the other, God, because I'm mentally ill?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. That's my answer. I don't know.
See, my answer to that is no. And the reason why my answer is no, and I could be totally wrong with this, y'all correct me if I am wrong, but Jesus knows your heart, and Jesus knows everything that's in you. He knows everything that's in you. And so for you to make an excuse, the excuses ain't gonna float.
There are people around here that are guilty of committing malice murder. And some of them have gotten the label of being incompetent to stand trial.
Yeah.
But they're competent to commit malice murder.
True.
We need to be very careful.
Toussaint, talk to me, brother. You're right. Toussaint, talk to me. Ms. Hicks, come to you next. Toussaint, wake up and go to sleep. Let's keep this thing going. Toussaint may be occupied right now. Mr. Hicks, talk to me, sir.
Yes, sir. I don't know. Good conversation. I guess I think about it like this as somatics, because the thought is done unto you as you believe. The thought that you have produce these chemical chains in the body. Hatred, hatred and resentment. These are things that the root cause of cancer and these different diseases. They got this doctor. You do a lot of things on YouTube. I can't think of his name off the top, but I think most times it's like when you study the body, you study the respiratory system, you study the neurological, all these different parts of us that make us one, right? And I think that when we start thinking about what's spiritual and physical and put a separation between the two, when they both are the same thing, if the theology is correct, these disembodied spirits, the archons and stuff, they are living entities, but they don't have bodies. They have to reside themselves inside a body. So a person makes himself available to these things by his thoughts, about his resentments. I was thinking somebody said something earlier about the difference between jealousy and was it jealousy? I think he said jealousy is one thing and envy was a different thing.
Yes.
Jealousy is looking at somebody who has something you like to have. I like to have that. He's got that ability to write. But envy is like, I want not something like that guy. I want what he's got. I want that woman. I want that wife he got, which leads to all the other things like how I'm gonna get rid of him. I'm gonna sabotage it. So envy is a thing is that you want what the person's got, not something like them. But I hear the whole, because I've been on both fields. I studied all those courses and psychology and Freud and Jung and all those good points, but they're just talking about things in a different language than the spiritualists did. In ancient times, when a person had a problem, emotional, what we call mental illness, they would take them to a witch doctor or shaman. He'd go out he'd go get some herbs and mix some stuff and tell them to take it, give them a prescription. It's the same thing that happened now. They're giving prescriptions, but it's just pharmaceuticals. They're taking the elements that was in nature, synthesizing them, making a profit off it, but still doing the same thing. So possession could be handled with medication, but it is possession. It is being open to other channels and there's a world around it. But but to call it in a like, I think Cassandra, I really agree with her, and Leonard both got good points. That when you call everything one thing, you separate things. It quells your inquisitive mind to explore because you think you already got the answers before you start.
Wow. So you're clouded from the beginning.
Yes. Yeah. That's how
Good
I see
deal.
it.
Good deal. We're gonna go Cap, Frank, Cassandra, and then Stanley. Cap, what's on your heart, sir?
Well, the scripture in the Bible said that about Jesus, they hate him without a cause. I was reading it the other day, and Pontius Pilate said he even recognized it was jealousy. It was jealousy, the reason why they didn't like this man. And he washed his hands because he did not want Jesus' blood on his hands because he knew he was an innocent man.
Mm-hmm.
But he knew that every time, every year, he let someone go and he asked the people, I'm going to let you make the decision. Pontius Pilate's wife said Jesus troubled her. And then he asked, what do you want? And it was determined they wanted Barabbas. They took a thief, a murder over an innocent man. So he washed his hands. He did not want Jesus' blood on his hands. Now, if he said he knew that the people were jealous, they hate him without a cause. But what about us?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people hate you for no reason at all.
None.
Jealous of you. And what happens every time you see you play the lottery and you trying to get that $1 billion? What happens? How you feel when the news come on? Some old person who got one foot in the grave and the other one on the banana peel.
Yeah.
90 years old, working as a teacher somewhere, and they hit the lottery for $80 million. How do you feel?
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me jealousy don't come in your heart.
Lord Jesus, Lord.
You don't sit there and say, praise be to Allah, I'm so happy that this old person got that money. You don't say that. But the jealousy don't stay there. You don't just sit there and let it fester. See, jealousy unchecked will fester into enviness. If you let it grow in you, then it would become enviness. And then next thing you know, you're going to find the person and rob them and kill them.
Mm.
Because you don't believe you deserve that $80 million.
Mm.
So we all recognize, and I like what Cassandra said. Yes, they didn't have mental health clinics back 2,000 years ago. If you had a spirit in you, they said Jesus was doing this by the power of Satan. They were saying power.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, y'all Christians know better than me. He did this by the power of Satan. He did it by evil power. He was crazy. They should have had Cassandra back then to help them with their mental health issues. Surely, if they had some. That's what's on my heart, right?
Wow. Frank talked to me on where Captain going this morning. I don't know. Captain took a turn on us. Captain took a turn on us that time. Frank, what's on your heart, brother?
Few things. One, my pastor would always say, no investigation, no right to criticize. I think part of that investigation is getting the diagnosis of the gifts that God has put here for us. You would be crazy to have somebody struggling and not doing everything you can to try to find out what they're going through. So we need to use that resource. We need to have, the doctors and the scientists and everyone to look at people. But that doesn't stop you from believing healing in their life, no matter what someone tells you about them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, well, this is what they need. Yep, we're going to do that. But when I get home, that doesn't stop me from getting on my face and crying out to the Most High God and saying, I know what they said about this person or that person. But Lord, you said.
Come on.
So we need this and that. Scripture tells us, how do these things happen? It is by faith. Regardless of what we see, what is it that you're going to believe?
Mm-hmm.
You have to begin to call that person by their name and say, Lord, you did not put them here to exist in this state. Now, until that thing manifests, you better be listening to some people that can stabilize them, but never stop believing. The other thing that I wanted to say, because I know my time is short, is we have to be careful with absolutes. Sometimes something will happen and we will have an absolute mindset towards it. I don't believe Frank. I believe the things that God reveals to me on a daily basis. The Frank that married his wife before we had children cannot be the Frank of today. I have to evolve. And a lot of times we have these absolutes. What worked in our life then, it's not going to work today. And we make different things doctrine. And the last thing I want to say is that you got to understand, when you go into an edifice that are full of people, don't allow yourself, your heart to be hardened when they make mistakes. Because they're just human. Whether they're Christian or anybody else, these are just people.
Yeah. Wow. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We love to have your input. Let me see. We got an order that we're going in. Frank, then we're going to Cassandra. Stanley, I think we lost Stanley. Stanley, if you're able, call back in, brother. And then we're going to go to Bishop. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Right here. No
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. That's
Kurt.
Kurt. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Kurt,
good morning.
You can go before me.
Yeah, let me go to Kurt. I'm sorry about that, Kurt. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, what's going on, brother? What's poppin'?
Kurt, I need to hear your heart on this, man. We're talking about spirits, and we're talking about. I gave the example of the young lady that did not like me. I was a assistant manager over there at AutoZone. She didn't like me because she said I was always too happy. Ain't no way in the world nobody happy like that all the time. Ain't no way in the world happy all the time, walking around here singing and happy and being so joyful to people all the time. There's no way. I don't like him. I asked the question, is that possible for somebody to not like you just because of the fact that you're happy? Or is that an evil spirit? Is that a demonic spirit that's in them? What do you say to that?
It ain't have nothing to do with demonic spirits. That's just an ignorant person. And I was ready to say that I can't say on this radio station. That's just a mean spirited person. We ain't gonna turn this into rocket science. You know, that's somebody who probably 9 times out of 10, it's comfortable for them to exist in a space where they are the dragnet of life. They probably have a good space to exist in their doggone self. We're not going to put that on a spirit. You know, evil spirits. You know when you're around an evil spirit. Like, it's not. Nah. Man, ignore them people. They live a life of misery, and that's pretty much a guarantee. Their life is filled with misery. Their life, most of those people, their lives are filled with misunderstanding. Their life is filled with drama and foolishness and chaos. All of these things that you really do not need in your circle. They're draining. Most of those people, in all honesty, are very, very emotionally draining folk. You surround yourself with them, pay attention to them, you wind up using up what energy, what positive energy you got, trying to address their negative energy. Man, don't waste your time.
Wow.
Where they going that you can't go.
Okay.
That's what I was told years ago. Where they going that you can't go, right?
Nowhere.
Okay.
Wow. Kurt, you got a minute and a half, brother. You finished kind of quick. That's it?
It ain't much more I have to say because I really don't care for people like that.
Yeah, I knew you had something else in you. I knew you had something else in you. Go ahead, brother.
I really don't, brother. I don't care for people like that. People like that, if you pay attention, people like that, I tell you what, people like that, the next time you're around somebody like that, because we're around people like that all the time, but the next time you're around people like that, pay attention to the people they hang around. Pay attention to what happens when they come into a room. How the facial expressions change, how the dynamics in the room change, how the emotions in the room change. All of a sudden, the room becomes extremely quiet. You can hear a feather fall on straw. I just don't. And folks need and then the biggest thing that always gets me is, oh, them people just don't like me. Well, maybe they don't like you because you don't like yourself. What's wrong with you? I don't like people like that, man. I stay away from them people.
Good deal. Now,
probably they are responsible for probably.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, Cassandra, we're gonna go with Cassandra, Stanley. Stanley, hopefully you'll call back in, and then Bishop.
Yeah, I'm staying, where I was before. I just don't want. I just hope that we would grow enough that we don't demonize people because of something that they have no control over. And that is my problem with the church. We can say it however we want to, but they just don't want to change. I know better. If you work in the mental health field long enough, you know better. You know that these people are crying and crying out. I don't know why I'm doing the boo 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 boo. These are not people that just I'm comfortable where I'm at. And yeah, I like being this way. I like, I just don't want us to walk around demonizing everybody that may have a mental illness. And no, I agree with Leonard. People using mental illness as an excuse to do evil. That's not even what I'm talking about. I ain't even talking about those people. I'm not talking about those people. I'm only talking about people that legitimately has been diagnosed with a mental illness. And any of us can fall into that at any given time. You can say, yeah, no, I'm full of the Holy Spirit. I know plenty of people full with the Holy Ghost, with the evidence of speaking in tongues and all of the other stuff that have gone through depression and different things. They're not evil. They're not demon possessed. They're going through a mental health crisis or a mental health issue. That's all.
And Leonard said he believed you could be healed from anything. As a matter of fact, we're going to go to Leonard, Mr. Hicks, and then we're going to go to Tucson. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? We start the time over.
If you're in the faith world, you understand the difference. You really do. And there are some people who have just went overboard. But I believe you can be healed of anything.
Anything?
Anything. Anything. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you stop breathing, they walk out the room and put the sheet over your head. If it ain't your time, it ain't your time. Get up and walk.
So all y'all broke people, you could be healed.
What? See, you can't even just throw broke out there. What broke you talking about? But it's a way that you can practice medicine. You can believe and have faith in things as well. There's no either or, but a believer believes that God can heal anything.
Yes.
Now, let's separate that from having to be right about anything. Let's accept and be thankful for those who have had these issues, who have been healed. Just because you got this illness don't mean it ain't never going away or you can't get better or anything of that nature. You can get therapy. You can get medication. You can change your habits. There's lots of different approaches to people who have issues that manifest themselves as poor behavior and all these types of things. Helping somebody sometimes ain't, they say they help you, but really all they're doing is sedating you. They're not helping you. They're just sedating you. But what are you to do with the man who believes that he was sent here to kill everybody of a certain race?
Wow. Wow.
There are people that have these issues.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, we should use everything at our disposal to help and find solutions for people with these issues. But we're not just going to throw away things because we don't like them or we don't believe in, because what may heal you may not be good for someone else.
So you're not going to throw away the baby with the bathwater?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. But we're going to definitely do what we can. We're going to call a spade, and no one's getting a break.
So ain't no reneging going on around here.
No. If you go commit.
Good deal. Let me go. Let me see. Mr. Hicks, Toussaint. Then we're gonna go to Cap. Mr. Hicks, what's on your heart, sir?
Oh wow. I was thinking about Ron L. Hubbard in the Scientology. When it first came out, I bought the book and studied everything I could about finding out in the argument against psychiatry and the whole psychiatry industry. Up until 1972 or 76, I think it was, homosexuality and pedophile was classified as a mental disorder, but they changed it. These scientists that, and believe me, it's helpful, but it's like a double-edged sword. They have a peer view. They peer view each other work, and they all come together to group what reality is. And based off their decision, the whole culture changed. The whole culture changed from people with that being defined as you got a mental problem. I know you don't have a mental problem. This is who you are, and we got to shape this society around who you are, accept this new reality. So it's the whole thing of the COVID and the fear and everybody willingly taking a shot. I think this thing called mass psychosis, a mass of people out of fear and out of direction by the architects that design and play off our emotions. I come from a simple background. My mother was holiness people, very, very spiritual. I witnessed a lot of things and saw things. So in my personal view, you could call it mental illness if you want to call it that. And that's a way to be secular and quick, but it's spiritual. It's a spiritual basis to the problem.
Yeah.
And like Leonard said, I do believe this. Can do all things, can heal anything. The history prove it. The stories prove it of his power, of this creator and how he heals and takes blindness away and raise. So the possibility is done to you as a belief. It's all down to belief. If a person believes that pill is going to help them, and they believe in that Dr. whatever the white coat tell them, they believe it. Their faith and their belief will make it work for you. And it's all the same element. Wow. But I don't think it's a clash between the two. I think it's just like Leonard said, you gotta throw a whole bunch of things at people who got problems. You got to try things. You got to be innovative and sometimes create new things that just work. It's like everybody's got a different combination. You're trying to figure out how to get the combination to get it to click. It'll be a facilitator that, but it's all based off really down to the person's choice to believe.
Wow, that's good. That's good, and that's powerful. Their choice to believe. That's powerful. Toussaint, talk to me. Cap, coming to you next.
Wow. And I want to make something clear. I got this thing on. I'm gonna cut it off. it's not that we're saying people are full of demons or the demon possessed when they have a mental issue.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I am saying is we can't get to the point that on our human side we can fix people's problems. We can't.
Mm-hmm.
Why in the world? It's almost like God is saying, "Have you tried me?"
Mm.
And we say, "No, I got it."
Wow.
And I'm gonna just go to the doctor. Well, that's what the
Amen.
woman
Amen.
with the issue of blood did. That's
Mhm.
what they did with the man that was in the tombs. They
Mhm.
didn't understand him. They tie him up, they bound him with fangs, feathers, and chains because he was dealing with life's issues, I believe. Let me just say it like that. Didn't say that whatever was going on with him, because of the love of Christ come to him, and because he treated him with kindness and respect and gentleness, and he spoke to what was going on with him. I don't know, y'all know what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And we found out that the people was crazier than he was.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were saying, like, Jesus, you got to get out of here. What? What I'm saying is, we're not demonizing people, but scientists and other folks have to come up with a name for something. But the solution is always, we're going to have to go to God about it because he knows everything. I'm sorry. You
Mm-hmm.
can't omit him.
Come on.
I know we try.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we think, I'm not that type of Christian. I don't know what type of Christian folks we talking about, but I'm not that type of person
Mm-hmm.
that demonize everybody. Everybody ain't full of hell. You got more hell in church folks than I ever seen in my life.
Come on. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
But the thing about it is, the reason why people look at the church as critical is because they got critical people in it.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing wrong with the church. Ain't nothing wrong with Christianity. I would go as far as to say, and I'm not even Muslim. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But people, when you talk about people, we something else.
Mm-hmm.
So if we don't go to the source, I ain't talking about the resource. I'm talking about the source. We'll always have problems because, again, you got flesh and spirit, the spiritual battle that's going on, even in places that you can't see.
Mm-hmm. Say it.
If you ignore it, it'll tear you apart.
Yep. 30 seconds.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Good
You
deal.
can have your 30 seconds.
Well, thank you, sir. I sure appreciate it. Cap, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, this has been a very informing show. I would never try to become a psychiatrist or an analyst in human behavior. We only could judge people or be able to analyze people based upon how they come to you, based upon do you know them, based upon whether they are on some form of drugs, are they high, are they crazy, are they bipolar? And I like what Brother said. Some people use their mental illness as a justification to do what they do and to harm other people. I had a sister-in-law who just, every time she wanted to do something crazy, she said, I'm certified bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
And she would say that. I'm certified bipolar, which makes it, in my mind, if I do something crazy, charge it to my mental illness. And I know she ain't, because I asked her mother. Her mother said, I never knew she got diagnosis being bipolar, but that's in her mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe people do have mental health issues, and these mental health issues come from a life, many of them come from a life of trauma. Trauma creates a lot of mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about what these people or what we go through in our personal lives, it can help us go down that road.
Mm-hmm.
I got trauma, man. I really do. And I'm not, how can a man be upset, someone be upset because you're happy all the time?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just crazy, man. Look at him. He's too daggone happy.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, Raheem, the lady was upset with you because you're too happy, but the reason why she really was, you didn't hit on her. You didn't hit on her, Raheem.
Yeah,
Doggone,
exactly.
you
I should have hit on. I should have hit on. I should have.
should have said, your
How about?
nails look good, girl. Girl, I like your eyebrows. God, Raheem.
I know. I know it, man. And look, I'm a married man. I ain't out here to hit on nobody. I'm a married man. I can't be doing that. But it's almost like she was like Sarge in our Soldier Story. Look at him, always so happy. Look at him walking around here happy all the time. Mississippi, down there from Mississippi, always happy, singing that, playing on that guitar. Look at him.
He had issues. He had some issues, right?
Look at him, always over there playing on that guitar. Man, I don't like him. I just don't like him. I don't like him. Anybody like him? I don't like him.
But he said, well, what kind of nigga are you?
But Raheem, you make a good point.
Yes,
because think about it. There are some meetings I don't go to. Right?
Yeah.
I know which meetings I'm not welcome at.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I will be at a meeting, and the moment I say something positive, people are like, he crazy.
Yeah.
It's not the meeting for me because obviously don't nobody want to be positive there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
So I understand that.
Yeah.
There you go over there playing that guitar.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
So,
he was scared because he had crow in him. The man had crow in him, man.
Go ahead.
Anybody come and tell you got crow in him, you ain't gonna think too much that he wasn't crazy. So Brother Leonard come and tell me, hey Cam, I got crow in me.
I must got crow in me, Sarge. I must got.
don't do it. Don't do my man like that.
Crazy out your mind.
He just may have some crow in him. Don't do him like that.
Lord, let it go ahead and finish your thought, man. I'm going to go to going to Bishop as well. Go ahead.
But
go ahead.
That example you use,
Mm-hmm.
and the young man that was the target of Sarge's own contempt for the depiction of the happy-go-lucky Negro.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that story. That Soldier Story is a great
I love
story
that
to
movie.
watch, even from a psychological perspective and group dynamics and things. But that was the thing, and that could be what's happening. Sometimes a person's own contempt for something can make them lash out at you for no reason at all. I don't know why people would want to be a slave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know why they would characterize themselves as slaves.
Mm-hmm.
But to each his own.
Yeah.
The problem is when you try to insist that something is wrong with me because I don't share your same belief.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's where the problem comes in.
Exactly. We're about to get out of here in a minute or two. Bishop, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Man, I tell you the truth, great conversation, great topic. And our thing is to be able to identify or clarify what is classified as having an evil spirit or mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
Either way it goes, whatever the circumstance is, our best recourse is to pray. That's the only thing I can think. Just pray for whoever, whatever the case may be, those who are dealing with those demonic spirits or those who are dealing with those mental illness. Pray, try to identify without judging and or condemning. I love everything that Leonard said, and in fact, what everyone has said. But Leonard hit the nail on the head as it relates, and we just want to continue to move forward. Keep everybody encouraged. Y'all have yourself a safe weekend. Raheem, I don't like you. I love you, and I love what you bring to the table. I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. Love you too, brother. Cassandra, what's on your heart? What you gonna say about old Sarge? Oh, you don't like old Sarge, huh?
No,
I'm boy, y'all make me. Okay, so I'm going to say this. Right now I have two friends, beautiful, beautiful women of God, two of them that we fasted, prayed. They are both in fourth stage. I'm beautiful. I'm not talking. I know that these women love God and live the life that they talk about. Both of them are in fourth stage cancer. They prayed, they've used natural, they've done everything they can, but neither one of them are getting any better. So if just asking God and praying and being faithful to God, if that's what makes you healed, then I've missed something, because I know these women and they've done all of that. So I still don't want us to, like, if people are praying and speaking after God about something that sometimes God says yes, sometimes God says no.
Yeah.
So Hezekiah had to turn himself to the wall and cry out for 15 extra years. So people are going to leave here. I don't want us to portray that people are not operating in faith if they are dying from a disease, or if that is not so. That is not so.
Amen.
Come on. Come on, man. We got to stop putting it out there like that, because that's what it sounds like.
Wow. We got an extension. We have an extension. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry. I usually don't come up. But where's that coming from? I'm misunderstanding it. I hope I'm not saying that myself, because I'm not.
No, that's not what you said. But it was put in the atmosphere that, anything, and yes, God, nothing is impossible to God. We know that. But we know that godly people die every day. Please, let's remember that. Godly people die every day. Let's not make it like if they are dying, that they don't have faith in God. Come on.
Right.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
We're going to all die.
Yeah.
And I think about, when you say that, Cassandra, I think about Job. Job didn't have too many issues that we can recognize. But then I think that the thing with his life is God put him to the test. And he passed it too. But everybody don't. Some sicknesses is to death. Unfortunately, that's a truth.
Exactly.
I don't know.
And those of us that are saved, we never die. We will live forever. We may leave this existence on this earthly realm, but we will live forever. I'm just saying. Leonard, what's going on at 3:00 today, sir?
If you did not get a chance to hear this show in its entirety, log on to www.dkmmediagroup.com at 3:00 Eastern today.
Good deal. Let me go to Nadine. We haven't heard from Nadine in a minute. Nadine, give us a real quick. We got to get out of here now. What's on your heart, sis? Talk to me.
I didn't think y'all knew I was on the phone.
Yeah, we know.
I just love that name.
So what Sandra said is, I hate to end with a note like this, but I stayed on my knees before the Lord because I didn't want this sickness. I prayed and asked the Lord. I beseeched the Lord over and over again, and I still do. Not more medication. This is not something that I desire. I do not want it. I'm not on this medication. I will not leave my house. Will not leave my house because I have a situation where I think everyone's looking at me, everyone's talking about me, and people telling me that's in my head. The people that don't understand it because they're not going through it. I think about Paul, who had the thorn in his side. We pray to the Lord. Pray. Nobody cannot tell me that I have a relationship with my Father, Creator. So if people don't get it, they just don't get it. Just don't get it. They're not going to get it because they're not going through it. I wouldn't even be on this phone if I wasn't on medication.
Wow.
Not keep any company. I would not even be able to do the Lord's work if I wasn't on medication. It saddens me because people do not understand because they're not going through it. And by the grace of God, I pray that they never have to go through it. That's all I have to say, Raheem. That's what's on my heart. And I love you all, and I love you all's perspective. And it gives me a better knowledge to know who I'm dealing with on a daily basis as I walk this earth. I'm sitting here in front of the store. As I see people going in and out of the store, I'm looking at the people and I'm saying, is that what's sick? Is that? I'm like listening to y'all, and I'm like, I don't know what people are going through. They're going through something in all aspects of life, especially in these last days.
Good deal. And
This is what it is.
And we love you too, sis, and definitely appreciate you being here. We definitely love you as well. Cassandra.
Yeah.
Cassandra?
I'm brushing my teeth. No.
Okay, well, take a minute for the Lord and lead us out in prayer.
I'm just kidding, guys. I thank everybody for what we bring to the table. Everybody brings something different. I always say this, and before I pray, I always say this. That's what makes us unique. We have different perspectives on different issues, and that's okay. That's okay. So let's, I love everybody, and just because I don't agree with you don't mean I don't love you. So I just want to put that out there. But Father, we just thank you right now for your goodness and your mercy. God, we know that you are constantly, God, reminding us of whose we are and who you are. God, I thank you right now that everyone under the sound of my voice will come to the realization that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding are the main keys that we need in order to be effective in this life. God, I ask you right now by your spirit to touch every person under the sound of my voice. God, let them know that, yes, you're able to do exceedingly abundantly above anything that we may ask, think, or even imagine, that there is nothing impossible with you, God. We know that, and we trust you. We walk in that, and we accept your perfect will for our life. God, I love you. I love these people, and continue to use Raheem in the Morning Glow to bless the hearers. And those that hear, let us begin to be doers of those things that are good that we hear. These and all other blessings we ask in the precious name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. It's been a great broadcast, y'all. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:17. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please, please be blessed. Give somebody some love and truth. They would appreciate it, and I'm sure that you will as well. Have a great day. See you Monday morning if God says the same. Love you, and take care of each other. Be blessed.